Hey guys, what's going on? That's it's pretty interesting for me and for you maybe as well, especially for my friends to see me making a video for YouTube. So since it's New Year 2020, I believe it's a perfect time to not wait for 2021 and start doing something right now because all those false promises for the next year. Mm, I don't really like them. If you want to do something, do it right now. Don't move it. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till the next year. So this video is about my close friend. We've been together for a lot of shit, and he's a transgender person. And the way he opened this kind of book for me about this type of people, uh, I was like, you must do this stuff on camera. People need to hear. People, they need to know what is what it's like to be that this kind of person because it's not a sugary at all. So we made a little interview. I hope you're gonna like it, and let's go. So, what's your name?
Hi, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex. Actually, it's not my real name because the country that I'm coming from, my name is Chinggis, but I ended up changing my name, but later on I'll tell you the reasons why. Yes.
Why you don't like your name?
Well, first of all, I would say that there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons as well is that this name does not associate with who I am and not only my personality, but I would also probably say that my inner world, which is we're gonna get there.
Okay. What are you doing here?
So, one of the reasons of me coming from the United States of America is because I'm one of the members of LGBTQ community, but if to be more specific, that I'm non-binary and probably transgender. That's how I acknowledge myself. And the reason why I came here because back in the country where I'm coming from, it is deadly dangerous and almost impossible to survive if you are an LGBTQ. So I'm an asylum case in the United States of America, but also there's another reason why I came here is because to make my dream come true.
Okay. Let's start with the first question. When did you discover that you're different?
Wow, that's a nice question actually because that literally probably happened since I was really small. A lot of people has a misconception about the with the gender dysphoria because by the society we're all used to the fact that if you were born as a male then you have to act as a male, and if you're born as a female then you have to act as a female. And honestly, I don't think it's got anything to do with the sexuality, even though sexuality can be a part of it. And I discovered that when I was really, really, really young, so probably when I was probably like 4, 5, 6.
Okay, but first of all, how you discovered, like, what you felt? You were scared, or you were like, yeah, this is who I am? You were more confident about it, or you were like,
I was definitely not confident. I was definitely not confident because, I mean, I don't think that any person who's got the gender dysphoria can be very, very comfortable with this at the beginning of his life because, as I said, in the community and the country where I'm coming from, if you were born boy, then you look around and you have to see how other guys act, and you have to act exactly the same way. Where for me it was very hard because, first of all, till I got probably 12, I was still hesitating with my gender dysphoria because I didn't know what I was. I definitely didn't identify myself as a queer male, but I was like still searching for myself. I was trying to find someone like me because it was very difficult because who I was, I could see only in the females around me, and in the males I could see the opposite sex, which was very weird for me. And so I guess that was the main fact that I wasn't comfortable with that.
have you met any other transgenders in the place where you came from?
Okay, first of all, not in real life. And the second thing, I knew a few transgenders, not personally, but through my friends, that 2 of them were actually mortally killed. And one of them committed suicide.
They were transition or not?
The one who committed suicide, she was in transition.
In the process or already?
Yeah, she had. I mean, as I know, I'm trying to remember her name, Bellic. Okay, as I know, she had already her breast implants done. She was on hormonotherapy for over a year and a half, I guess, and she was actually gonna go and get the like the vagina plastics done in Turkey, because the Turkey is a neighboring country to my country, so, and it's much cheaper over there to get those kind of surgeries done, because back in my country you can't do this kind of surgeries, otherwise you're gonna go to the jail.
Oh, so
It's a crime.
It's a crime. Okay. Does it, like, this dysmorphia kind of affected your life, personal life,
Absolutely.
in terms of like relationships?
Oh yeah.
Something, like, more serious than friendship?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely, because first of all, the fact that I was identifying myself more as a female than male, and then, of course, I was at this point attracted to males, and but the problem was that it was kind of awkward for the guys that I like to tell, for me to tell them that I like them, because they would immediately start making love at me, or even attacking me, or even being really violent with me, because, and I couldn't understand why, because I honestly didn't think of myself as a guy who's coming up to another guy to meet him, because I never had a desire like of being treated like a man. And what I think was really hurting me is that in my personal life, all the guys that I was having crush on, I was expecting them to have crush back on me, because I simply was forgetting about my physical body, and I was just, associating and focus on my inner side. And that's always been one of the biggest problems. But also, I think in general, suffering from like gender dysphoria and finding an appropriate partner is one of the hardest things that you can ever do in life, because you need
Because
to.
you're attracted more to straight male.
Yes, because you don't really. Okay, first of all, when you suffer from the gender dysphoria, it is not a sexuality. It is not a sexual orientation. So it's not like, okay, I know that I'm a guy and I like other guys. Yes, right now, if anybody looks at me, I'm quite fit. I love sports. I love going to a workout and all these things. But I'm not doing sports because I want to look masculine, but I'm doing sports because I want to be in shape. I want to look aesthetic. Doesn't matter whether I'm stuck in a male's body. I still want my body to look nice. I still want myself to look nice. I still want to put myself out there as someone who probably as who I am, you know. No more pretending and stuff like this. Yes, I can be like, and I can acknowledge myself in this body, but still.
But you're not attracted to gay male.
Uh,
If someone is gay, it's like,
okay, well,
not gonna work, or
you see, well, I think this is more of a compatibility subject, but I think the reason why I wouldn't probably be attracted to a gay male if he was submissive, or in other words to say, if he was also on a feminine side, then I think it's impossible for me to do this. But if the men that I'd be attracted would be on a male, like leaning on the male side, which is the top side, I would say, then probably something could work out. But again, it depends on the person individually, because.
okay, makes sense.
Because right now, to be honest, I think that this would be anyways hard and difficult for any straight man to be attracted to me in this kind of position and condition where I'm actually having my physical body. Even though, they might consider me an amazing person because of my personality, because of my character. But at the end of the day, the physical appearance is very different to what's going on inside.
Do you have any medical proof that you're transgender?
Yes, I do. I mean, actually, by the by the law of the World Association of Psychiatrists, you cannot have or any permission of sex reassignment surgery unless you have been given a legitimate document from the psychiatrist that you are actually having the troubles with with acknowledging your sex in terms of that you are suffering from gender dysphoria or non-binary or just a transgender.
Is it hard to get?
It is hard to get if you are not transgender. I mean, because
No, yeah. I mean, in terms of like, is there many doctors that you need to go through?
all right, back in my country where I was able to get that, it was hard. It was fucking hard. I mean, sorry for my language, but I mean, when remembering those moments, really, it was really hard because, first of all, again, as I said, the country that I'm coming from is a quite homophobic place, and the country that I'm coming from is actually an Islamic country, and there's a lot of restrictions for LGBTQ. If you're LGBTQ back in the country that I don't want to name, that I don't really want to mention right now, at least, it's a really hard again to be even gay or lesbian, but whatever. So when I was taken to psychiatrist first by my parents, and when I was given the diagnosis transgender, of course my parents were no way agreeing with that, and they tried to revitalize me. They tried to do a lot of things in order to treat me, and then the second time I actually ended up going um to psychiatrist with my ex-boyfriend. I would say that with someone that I was dating, and every time I was diagnosed with depressions, but there was underlying condition of this depression because a lot of people who suffer from the gender dysphoria or transgenders and non-binary are having exactly the same kind of symptoms if you think about it. So I had very similar symptom, and like with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and of course the people who my friends, a few friends that I only had, were really worried about me at that point, and they like forced me to go to the head psychiatrist of the country, and where he actually diagnosed me with a transgender. But then he forced me to go through three different psychiatrists, even though he just could have given me the permission without any troubles. But he forced me to go through different psychiatrists to make sure that, as I said, I'm suffering from this kind of disease, even though I don't understand how it's disease. So, and then he forced me to go to one psychiatrist and the second and the third, and that was an embarrassment because they were like asking all those questions and they were like going deep down into the sexual details, and that was like horrible for me. That was horrifying. First of all, like they were, I mean, the behavior was disgusting. Only one, yeah, only one of them actually. The guy who gave me a document, who gave me that permission, literally, like, and wished me a good luck and told me to leave the country because he said that if I stay in there, I'm probably gonna end up dead. And that's what I was literally told by a psychiatrist. That after was killed back in my country. Yeah. So,
So it's pretty hard to get a actual proof that you're transgender. Nothing about like you being raped in the childhood.
Okay, so the funny
like
thing
that.
is that exactly that's what I said. That was very embarrassing because I was asked all those questions. If I was anally raped by any man, if I was anally raped like by how many men, like and I mean, okay, when you're going through that once to answer the questions, just to acknowledge and to discover, like who you are, it's a different thing. But when you go through the same shit like 4 times, and every time you gotta go through all your thoughts and all your childhood, this is painful and this is torturing. And they were like, perfect, like go for it. Because
how old were you?
At that point, actually, I was at my 16th, 17th. I would probably say even 18th.
So you're pretty much teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty sensitive to be asked these questions.
And yeah.
At that age. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you can say about like misunderstanding in the society about transgender people?
So first of all, okay, now that our world has developed so much, by the way, just before I go up to this question, just as a matter of fact, to tell you what I was going to tell you in the previous question, when I came to the United States, I only found out that you only have to go once to psychiatrist to get the permission, and there are not really any sexual questions involved.
Are you sure it's a good thing or bad thing?
Well, I mean, first of all, I am more than sure that I've been to different psychologists in this, like in America, since I came here.
For you, yeah, you passed through a lot of them, but here, don't you think it might be mistaken?
Well, if you are actually dealing with a very liberal psychiatrist who is not judgmental, you know what I'm saying? He will try to give you the right direction. Like, he won't be like, you know what? It doesn't work like, okay, you know what? I want to be a woman and I'm going to psychiatrist. No. Want to be and I am is a different things. Like, you might want to be, I don't know, a god or an angel. But if you are a god or an angel, it's a different thing. So I don't think there is such a thing like, I want to be a woman. It's like, either you are born this way, either you're just not.
So it's not a choice.
It's not a choice. And honestly, people have to understand that it's not about the choice. That nothing is choice. Not only that, I believe that even the sexuality is not a choice. Like, but everything should be in a disciplined way. Right now, what we're seeing around the world going on, this is a chaos. Like, this is total chaos. And there is a lot more that LGBT community can have to give. Not only the bad things, but also good things. But again, we have to be all together and disciplined. That's important.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of the answers to a question, the misinformation about transgenders.
Yes.
Like that,
The people think that it's a choice.
Yeah, it's
no,
like
it's not a choice. I mean, probably if I was born, okay, mentally, like a cis man, like my body is, then probably I would have been much more happy. I would have been much more comfortable. I wouldn't want to change anything about myself. But as long as this is a very big, like, disharmonia between me, disharmony, like, right inside me, between my body and my soul, then that's what's causing me trouble, so to say.
Is it troubles in terms of relationships or achieving your goals or everything?
Okay, to most of the people who still know me, they know me as a gay man.
Fact.
You know, they know me as a gay man. Like,
but at the same time, it's your choice to not opening up. Even
I can't.
Still right
Yes,
now. Yeah.
yes, because just imagine yourself that you have been hiding this fact for almost
All your life.
30 years.
Basically, yes.
30 years, and 30 years, everybody was acknowledging you as a male. You had a male name. Everybody was treating you as a male. You had to have male friends. I mean, your relatives had expectations from you as from a male. You know, like, everybody, like, even now, thinking that going through that reassignment surgery would hurt my parents, would hurt probably their health, because they are very vulnerable right now. They're like aged already. Like, this is a complete, I mean, chaos for me in my life, because I still feel like I'm stuck. And even though I'm in a different country and I can be now more or less myself, but I'm still frightened of letting people know that I'm a transgender. Because I'm so not used to this yet being out. When I say that I'm gay, they're like, okay, there's no judgment. But, I mean, when I kind of try to hint that I'm transgender or non-binary, people are having a hardship to understand it.
Do you have any like psychological traumas from being transgender, or psychological problems? You know, like depressions.
Yes.
Suicide thoughts. You know.
I mean, right now it's better. Right now it's better than it was probably 10 years ago. But since I realized that I was kind of stuck in the wrong body, I think since then my heaviest depression started. I was having the anxiety, I was having the panic attacks, I was having the suicidal thoughts. I mean, because, I was literally alone. Because I couldn't tell anyone. Like, nobody would understand. Even now, I know that we're making this video, and I really want it to be a help for a lot of people, for a lot of younger people.
So
because
basically, you're saying that being a transgender not actually the cause of depression and all the stuff. The society, like
depression.
you being not accepted in a society, the cause the depression and anxieties and all this stuff, right?
Well, that's what well, what I would say is that probably the being transgender is the cause of it. Not the depression is the cause of that. But
No. I'm saying you being transgender not a cause of depression. Your depression coming from society not accepting you because you can't find friends.
yes,
Yeah. And
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And also, you see, let's say that again, I know that there will be a lot of judgments given that we're doing this, but what I'm trying to say, I don't care about the judgment that people will say that, oh, it's not right or it's not good. I believe that we all have rights to live our life the way that we want to live and the way that who we are. But just one thing to say, I believe that this is really important for people who suffer from depression. Like, I've been there. I know how it feels. I wanted to kill myself many times because of the same kind of reason. I had a lot of tears in my life. I had a lot of abusement and a lot of humiliation in my life. I went through hell and like anything that is possible probably to go through. Anything that is, and I want to say one thing. If I made it through, to the younger people, make sure that you can make it through. Trust me. You can make it through. Do not ever give up. Do not give up on your life. Do not give up on who you are. Because you only got you, no one else.
What helped you
My faith.
to get through?
Okay, first of all, there were a lot of factors, but the main thing, I think it was my faith. I knew that there was going to be a better life out there. I hoped for it. Actually, what really helped me to get through is my hopelessness. I was hopeless. I was completely hopeless. I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that was the only reason, the fear made me just do it. Because now, thank God, things are more or less better. But back then, with all the persecutions that I had in my life, oh no. Dreaming of a peaceful life, it was just a myth for me.
Yeah, I believe. So what you can say for younger people, what kind of advice you can give them?
First of all, as I said like a few minutes ago, never give up on who you are.
But it's just worse. I mean, where to find the source of like keep going? Because you see how many of transgenders committing suicide.
Yeah, I mean the rate of suicide in the LGBT community
something
within
is
transgenders.
lost. Anyway, people changing the gender, doing everything, still committing suicide.
Yeah,
crazy percentage.
Yes, that's true, and I think I know one of the reasons why. Because the reason why transgender people actually go for the sex reassignment surgery, the reason why they do it is because not only because they want to have a female's or male's body, but also because they want to be accepted as an individual. Because when for example, like you're my friend and you're a straight man, and I come up to you and I'm like, hi, like let's say I'm Anna, and you look at me like, are you like literally nuts? Like, because what you're gonna see in front of your eyes is the dude who's is telling you this and is trying to like introduce herself with you. To you. No, you won't accept that anyways. You won't even listen to that. But when you're a transgender, it's like, okay, you look at that woman as a woman. So I did my best to be able to fit my inner world with my outside. So physically I'm also like technically a woman. But transgender people have that hope that people will finally stop humiliating and abusing them and accept them as a part of society, because we can be a part of society. But it's sad when you literally waste and spend so many years on those horrible, very, very harsh, like therapies, hormones. I mean, surgeries, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can like number of things that you go through just to be accepted. And when you come out, people still don't accept you. imagine the impact it makes on your brains. You're like, fuck it, I'm done with it.
So what do you think about the transition in terms of, let's say, if transgender people gonna be accepted in the society like completely? Is it gonna be necessary for them to do the surgeries and transitions?
Okay, well, let me tell you something. I think this. Well, there's a different thing. That's why, like, there is a terminology that is called transsexual, and there's a terminology that is transgender. So the difference between these two terminology is that after the surgery, you can be called transsexual because you literally have done the surgery. Transgender is what you identify yourself, even though you're not been through any kind of procedures or the therapies, but you know that you're a woman inside or you're a man inside or you're non-binary. So I think still, no matter how we want the society to accept us the way that we are, there will still be people who want to do the transition, because there will still be people who are not ready to accept you, who are not ready to look at you as a guy and tell you, okay, I'm going to call you she, because on the outside I may be he, and the inside I may be she. But I mean, at the end of the day, I will want everyone to accept me truly, not pretend like they do here. Because let's be honest, people, we're living in a beautiful liberal country, but some people will call you whatever you want, but it doesn't mean that they mean it. And you know it, and I know it, everybody knows it. But we want to be accepted the way that we are. Because I don't go up to a straight guy and tell him, okay, you know what? You gotta love guys or you gotta sleep with guys. This is bullshit. The same thing about, you cannot come up to me and tell me you gotta be a man because you were born in this body. Yes, probably I was born in this body, but have you seen the underlying things that I've been going through? No. Do not judge the book by its cover. That's the most perfect saying that I ever heard in my life. And this is so actual. Do not judge the book by its cover. That's what I'm saying. This is horrible. Like, I mean, for someone who's like me, for someone being a part of this kind of community, it was impossible, like, to be there and stay sane. It was impossible. Like, that is not something that one person, like, probably living in America could ever imagine if he really lived a life back in there. It's very hard. And here it's completely different. But there, that's...
So have you met more partners here or there?
In terms of sexual partners?
Yeah.
The funny thing is that I would probably have more sexual partners back in there, but again, it's because of the sexual hunger and everything and all this dirt that was going on around there. Like, there were men into me because they were thinking that I was good looking, that I was kind of a little bit on the feminine side and all this stuff. Where here, it's actually hard to find a partner because,
but we're talking about New York, not America in general.
Well, New York, I think, is a big boiling pot. So I think in general it's a little bit complicated in terms of relationship in New York, because I have a lot of straight friends, I have a lot of gay friends, lesbian friends, bisexual friends, pansexual friends, like anything that you want. You can find her anything, but at the same time, the city is beautifully big. The city is full of opportunities, but it's also a little bit lonely. And again, I don't think it's about the sexuality, but I think it's about the humans here in New York. Everyone is too busy with something. Everyone is too in rush. So, but definitely, if compare, like, New York is a heaven compared to the country where I'm coming from for people like me.
Hey, since we're making this video, there's gonna be a lot of your own friends who have no idea who you are. Right now, you're gonna open their eyes to who you are.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell them?
Well, first of all, I want to say that people who know me, they just know me, and they know me they know my personality of who I am, And I don't want them again to judge me because of my sexuality or because of my identity.
Basically, who you are.
Yeah, I mean, for me, nothing has really changed because I've always been this way, and it's always been me. For them, I mean, whoever I'm friends with, I love and respect each and every of them, including you. And I just, this is just me. The way that you've always known me, and all I can say is that I'm grateful that I have each and every one of you here. Maybe some of you cannot accept me this way.
Would you judge them?
No, because this is this is their right, just like it's my right to actually make this video or not make it. So I decided that no, you know what? Because again, I'm not doing this just to let the world know. Oh my God, there are thousands of transgender people who are suffering. No, but I'm 30. I'm over 30 years old, and I know there are still a lot of people. I know there are still a lot of people that are struggling, and they are much younger than me, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know who to resort to for help. In America, it's easier, but back in the countries where I'm coming from, this is a real hell. So I just want to say that the reason why I'm making this video is like this things happen, and this is normal. You're not alone. No, trust me. There are so many things going on in the world, in people's heart, in people's life that they just don't talk about. But if they don't talk about it, doesn't mean that it does not exist or it's not there. It's always there. There's not one person who is not having a story in their life right now. Trust me. Not even one person. They all have this story going on, and the older I'm getting, the better I understand that everything what we've been taught is nothing but really a bullshit in our lives. Just open your eyes. Just open your eyes and trust me, you'll see much more different than you always saw before.
So this is it. It's the first part of the cycle of our videos about transgenders. I want to do this personally because he's my friend and we've been through a lot together. And I believe it's just something that necessary. It's necessary to show these people, to talk about them, to figure out what's going on. Because if you don't mention the problem, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That's the only way to, at least to reach some people who never even thought about it. So we gonna try to make another one maybe next week. Uh, if you have your own question, just leave them in the comments. Subscribe to our Instagrams. You can leave your questions there. We're gonna pick the most interesting one and mention them on the next video. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. First of all, second of all, Happy New Year. I hope you're doing great, even though this year wasn't the best one. We all know that. But I'll just want to say that I hope you won't be such a judgmental in terms of like the technical stuff and all this thing. Yeah, we're just tasting the waters basically. And the next video is gonna be way better because I have everything for that, all the microphones, cameras, and all the stuff. We just wanna to try something. If it's gonna work out well, yeah, great. If it's not, well, we're gonna keep doing this stuff, but maybe not such enthusiastic as we could. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave a like. You can subscribe to my channel. There's gonna be pretty different videos, not about transgenders and LGBT community. It's gonna be my own videos about more relationships, about the way how to talk with the girls, how to make healthy relationships and all this stuff. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.